Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and to the fourth and final video of this special Medical Monday series where we're talking about how to prepare for the AFP, the Academic Foundation Program. As I've said in the other three videos, this is very exclusively aimed at 5th and 6th year medical students. If you're not a 5th or 6th year medical student applying to the AFP, you probably won't gain much educational value from it, but you might find it entertaining if you just like watching my videos anyway. I really appreciate it if that's the case. So in this video, me and my friend Mr. Ankur Kajuria are talking about tips for how to prepare for the personal interview, which a lot of places do have in when you're applying for the AFP. And we also share some resources that we found helpful on how to prepare for the AFP. Everything's going to be linked in the description below. So yeah, we're going to cut to the clip of me and Ankur from about 6 months ago where we're chatting about this, and I hope you find it useful. So in London, the only two interviews you have are critical appraisal and the clinical emergencies. But in a lot of other places, like EBH, where I applied as well, they have a personal interview where they ask you stuff about, you know, your life and things. Have you got any tips for that from, just your experience?
Yes. I would say, firstly, you need to get comfortable talking about yourself. A lot of people are shy about, and they get very nervous when you're asked to sell yourself. I don't know if it's a British thing, because a lot of people do. And you just need to get comfortable. And if that means, again, speaking to yourself in the mirror or like in front of your computer, but just start getting comfortable talking about past experiences, what achievements you have, and really trying to project that and make someone believe that you really want this job and that you are a right candidate for it. So I would say one thing you can do is make a list of past stuff you've done. And something I recommend to all medical students actually is to start a portfolio, collecting all the stuff you've done in one place, which will make it really easy when you come to applications such as core medical, core surgical training, or specialist training, and you will have started this. So for me, I started my portfolio in about third year. Okay. I started collecting simple things, and it slowly grows over the years. And when you come to core surgical training, you've already got a lot of stuff there already, whereas a lot of other people who haven't done that are sort of trying to find old certificates from 4 years ago. Yeah. And it's tough. Okay, so save yourself the hassle and just do it as you go along. Something you should look at is called the CanMeds Clover. Have you come across that?
Never heard of that. What is that?
It's something that Canadians came up with. Describes 6 domains that make up the medical expert. Okay, and it has things like collaborator, so that's sort of your teamwork, etc., leadership, professionalism, and you can start to list things that you've done that fulfill each of those domains, and that's quite a nice sort of a framework you can follow to sort of break down your achievements.
Oh, okay. And then, can you have those subheadings on your CV, for example, or?
Yeah. But it allows you to sort of compartmentalize stuff you've done in the past rather than just having Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that makes sense. Do you think there's any place for sort of being modest with your achievements when it comes to interviews?
No. Okay. You've got to tell the examiner what you've done and make it sound impressive. And even if it isn't, I know a couple of people who you can give them a little thing that they've done and they will elaborate and make it sound absolutely amazing. So no, you've got to be comfortable telling the examiner that you've done some impressive stuff, hopefully, that you've got the content, and be happy to share and talk about all the impressive stuff you've done in the past.
Okay, so when I was applying and did some mock interviews so I did 2 mock interviews. One was with my clinical director of studies, and the second was with someone who was doing an AFP. So she was an FY2, and both of them said that for me, I should have been more kind of elaborative of my various achievements, especially in education. So for example, I've been running an education company for the last 5 years that's done X 100,000 revenue and taught all over the world. All of this stuff that I didn't want to say because I felt like it sounds bad. But in hindsight, it's got to be said.
It's got to be said.
One other thing that I would say is from my experience and from the experience of a few friends who didn't get into particular AFPs, one thing that we did wrong, I think, was that we assumed that our interviewers had read our white space questions. And I think that was a big mistake. For example, in EPH, when they asked me, what my interest in education was, I actively did not mention the fact that I have this education company or the fact that I have a YouTube channel or any of this stuff, because I had written in my white space question. So instead I picked the most obscure random thing that wasn't even that impressive to talk about. Yeah. And I feel like that was a mistake.
No, likewise. So I had a friend who had done a PhD. She's a proper academic.
Yeah.
She did it during her medical school training. And she went to a London interview, and they had clearly not read her application, because they said, so have you done any research in the past?
Yeah.
That was their opening question. And she said, and she didn't mention the PhD.
Oh,
she came out of the interview and said, balls, I didn't tell them I had done a 3-year PhD. Yeah. No joke.
Yeah.
So don't assume anything. There are certain regions, again, Oxford are a bit more personal, so they would have read your white space answers. But in London, there are no white space answers from last year. So it's more done on other things.
All right. Great, thank you very much. Any final tips for people, applying for AFP who've got interviews coming up and things like that?
Yeah, sure. So I think from now till, I think the application's open in October, if I'm not mistaken, or September,
October, something like that.
There is time. Start thinking about if you really want to do this. As I said, attend our course. If you're interested, we will tailor it to not just people who are set on doing the AFP, but actually also people who may not be aware of the integrated academic program in the UK and who want to see whether this is something that they would be interested in. So we'll tailor it to everyone, and we will take you through all the steps, and it'll be quite an intensive 2-day program. And we'll include some lunch and things like that in there.
Awesome.
But no, do attend the course. We'll cover everything, and start reading also the UKFPO website to see whether there have been any changes. So, for example, as I mentioned last year, London scrapped their white space questions. So there may be further changes this year. So keep a lookout on the website, and speak to people who are currently doing the AFP or have done the AFP. Speak to them about their experiences, about potential regions and supervisors, etc. It's all useful information, and the more you do now, the better it will be.
Awesome, thank you very much. Hope you guys found this useful, and we'll link stuff about the course here and up there and in the description below. You can check it out if you feel like it. But yeah. So yeah, all the best. Hope you get that AFP. You might as well apply, you've got nothing to lose.
Absolutely.
And yeah, thanks very much.
Take care.
Take care, guys. Bye. See you later. Bye. All right, so this brings us to the end of the How to Prepare for the AFP mini-series, if that's even what we end up calling it. I really hope you found this series useful. The reason we did this series is because there's almost no information on the internet about preparing for the AFP. It's all kind of hidden behind courses and books and stuff. So hopefully this 4-part series has been of use to you and you found it helpful. If you have, then you might like to give the video a thumbs up. That would be cool. Or if you can leave a comment or message me on Instagram if you found it useful. It's just always nice to hear from people, and do let me know how you got on with your AFP. I didn't get in myself. I got reserve listed. I'm kind of glad I didn't get in, because now I'm in Cambridge and I'm loving my life, but I think that's probably just one of those confirmation bias things. Is it confirmation bias? I don't even know what kind of bias that is. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please consider doing so. Have a lovely day, and I will see you in the next video.